Hi, I'm Melinda. The sun is high and sweltering as Abraham sits at the entrance to his tent, trying to find some shelter. He looks up and is flabbergasted to see three strangers standing near him. He rises and invites them to step into the shade and to eat and to drink. It's an odd time of day for unexpected guests, and he and his wife Sarah begin making all manner of preparations for their visit, kneading dough, killing a calf, sweat pouring off them both. Abraham probably would have preferred to stay in the shade to just sip an iced tea, but strangers deserve hospitality and a place at his table. Seems like it's always in the heat of the day, when we're already sweating it out and trying just to find some shelter, that the unexpected stranger arrives at the door. With social isolation, with COVID ranging through the air and hanging out on door handles, with homeschooling and homeworking, loss of volunteer work, loss of going out, and all our favorite patterns, the heat of the day is upon us, and our energy is sapped. And into that stress comes the death of George Floyd and all sorts of protests. We really might be tempted to turn, to go into our tent, shutting off the world, because the heat is too much. Perhaps we showed up at a protest. Perhaps we wrote a senator. And isn't that enough? Well, maybe. But maybe the invitation is to look up and invite the stranger into the shade. This might be metaphoric. Maybe the time has come to spend some time really examining how we're part of a system that is racist, to invite that idea into our midst, to sit with it in the shade. For others, it might be more literal, to welcome those you don't know, but who are hurt and harmed by the system, to step out and listen, to step up and serve. I don't know what it calls for in your life, but I do know this. Despite the heat, despite his sweat and stress, Abraham invited the strangers into the shade. And the strangers turned out to be God. God showed up in the hottest, most unbearable time, and Abraham was changed by the encounter. Right now feels like a lot. Feels like a mess in some cases, with a lot of pain and no ready answers. But God is in the middle of it. And God is inviting us to something new, to a new understanding of how to live with one another, how to know our own part in the system, and how to work for a better, more just world that mirrors God's kingdom.